Well, this is Doug Middleton. Doug, I really, really do appreciate you meeting with me today. Like I said, we're going to go over some things. I got lots of questions to ask you. So tell me from the beginning, I want to know your expectations when you started compared to what you're seeing now. Are they different?
For me, the key to making the investment was the fact that I was going to have good support and be able to tap into that anytime, essentially anytime I needed. So from that standpoint, it's completely met expectations. You, Nick, have been extremely supportive, and every time I've called or every time I've texted, I always get a response back, and that has been just consistent. So yeah, from that standpoint, it's been perfect.
And we've been through a lot together and getting you transitioned over and understanding different markets and different things to do. And that's been fun all in itself. Do you think you've been given the tools that you've needed? And I've asked you the same question twice, but with a little different spin. Do you think you've gotten the tools that you've needed?
Yes. Yeah, I have been given the tools I needed. I'm very happy with the process and with the mentoring. And every time I've asked for support, I've got it. The training materials I've been able to go back to and pull information that, to remind myself of what I needed to do in a section, that kind of thing. And I have no qualms. It's been great. Yeah.
Do you think that there would be anything through all of this that you could help me improve on, whether it be the training, maybe more one-on-one time? Do you think, is there anything that off the top of your head you wish you'd have gotten a little bit more of?
There were times where I thought to myself, Nick, why didn't you just tell me that? Why didn't you just tell me that out of the gates? But I think it wasn't a matter of you trying to hide anything. It was a matter of understanding what I needed. Yes. That's all. And so maybe I wasn't asking the question right. I don't put any blame on you, but I was kind of a couple times like, oh man, if you just told me that sooner, I could have already gone this direction and handled something quicker. But and part of me was thinking that's probably part of the design, because you have to do it. You've got to learn it, and you can't just have somebody hand it to you with every little thing. You got to work through it so that you know what to do. So,
how important to you are our leads?
Oh, I can't think of much that's more important than the leads, besides the support and the education piece, right? The leads are gold, most important
part of it. I work hard on it, let alone tech and the company spending the money and making sure the servers are up and all of that stuff. How smooth was your first deal? How easy did it go for you?
So I did a double close. I think it was relatively easy, given all the moving parts that surprised me a little bit with the deal, and all the little things that kind of came up, because all of a sudden I was in the language with an investor who had done a lot of this, and with attorneys who were, who knew everything, and a seller not educated in it, but was demanding in a lot of ways. And I didn't have a lot of the answers. So there was a lot of, I had to, kind of go back and forth. And so just from a learning standpoint, getting through that, it wasn't easy, but it was great. It was, I really had a lot of fun with it. But at the same time, it wasn't overly difficult either. It wasn't hard. But now just breaking through the ice, done that once, the next one will be much, much easier if it's anything like this one was. And I know there's variation out there, but now I've got an attorney, I've got other investors I talk to, and I'm learning more and more every day. So it's becoming that much more exhilarating. It's just a lot of fun,
And those buyers, how important are those relationships? I know that I hammer on that all the time, and I know we've talked about it numerous times. How important are those relationships?
Well, again, they're the key. They're a key. You don't have a buyer, what are you going to do, right? So for me, I think, just getting somebody who says, yeah, I'll work with you. So if you bring me these kinds of properties, or you're in this area, yeah, I'll buy those. And hey, I'll go look at a property with you, if you need to, or whatever. Building those relationships with, I guess, kind of foundational buyers is awesome. But just then having a portfolio of them would be that much better. I found it hasn't been very hard to find them, honestly, for me. I found them to come about pretty easily. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to work with you. They need the service that I provide, and they tell me that. So they're some of them are pretty happy to work with wholesalers.
Do you think anybody could do this?
Yeah, anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. Yeah, I run some online stores and did a few entrepreneurial things, but with this one, I was determined I need to make sure I learn it A to Z, and that I, make a certain amount of, make my money back, and then I can see if I like it or not, or, whatever. And then make a decision around that, as to whether I'm going to continue with it or not. It's a matter of putting your mind to it and being, and sticking with it, devoting time to it, to learn it. Anybody can do it. It's just, you've got to do it. You can't say, I signed up for it, I've got a coach, and I put it on the shelf, and gee, it didn't give me any money. And I've been there. I thought I bought a jukebox, gambling machine. What are those called? The slot machine. I thought I bought a slot machine, but it didn't work. And so you got to put the time into it. That's all.